Ready. Okay, today is November the 18th. Almost forgot the date today. I had to call this Public Safety Committee meeting to order. Before we start the meeting, I would like for us to honor one of our committee members that, to my knowledge, has been on this committee since it first started in 2011. And Lennis Shalene, I've been on this committee since 2018. And Lennis was here representing, he's a representative of the police department. And we all know Lennis. I think we all love Lennis, and he's going to be deeply missed on this committee and in our community. So I'd like to start out with us having a few seconds of silence in honor of Lennis, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, on with the meeting. First on our agenda, we need to approve the agenda. Need a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next, we have presentation and informational reports, and today we have none. So next on our agenda is public comment. Provides an opportunity for members of the public to address the committee on items of interest to the public within the committee's jurisdiction and which are not already on the agenda this evening. It is the policy of the committee not to answer questions impromptu. Speakers should limit their comments to not more than 3 minutes. For items which are on the agenda this evening, members of the public will be provided an opportunity to address the committee as each item is brought up for discussion. Do we have anybody that would like to speak on public comment? We don't? Okay, so I will close public comment. Next, we have our regular calendar, and we need to approve the minutes from our 8/12/2025 Public Safety Committee meeting. I can get a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Got a motion and a second? All in favor? Aye, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, thank you. Minutes are approved from last meeting. Next on our regular calendar, we have use of funds discussion. I know we were going to have the police department here with an update on the drones, their drone system that they've got in their police department now, but we'll have that next meeting. Well, that'll be what, like in February? In February. So we'll continue our use of funds discussion. I know we usually have that every meeting. So we'll continue it. If anybody has any ideas, let's talk about them.
Yeah, I'm not aware. We spoke of funding, of course, the indoor drone, and we talked about some of the programs, the high school, things like that. I think we're still kind of in a holding pattern as we look at other ideas and then determine the best way to allocate those funds. Scratch that. Were we able to ask the city for an increase in our budget for the upcoming budgetary year? I know we had discussed that in the past about the allocation to this committee, the $10,000 we'd asked about.
That is something I can bring up with staff, and we'll talk about it at the next meeting. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I think right now it's 10,000.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll see I know that from 2011, Abby, until like around 2017, there was no funds available. Public safety, they just talked about public safety, correct? Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah. You get where you $5,000.
But it did get increased.
Oh, you did increase.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great.
And I think that's one of the things as our allocations move towards the future and technology is the future costs on technological advancements have gone up. And I just think it's something for us to certainly ask for.
Yeah. Uh, so that's what I was thinking of. I believe it was 5,000, like Abby was saying, and then right around 2018, about 3 years later, um, they added five more thousand to it. And so I was thinking of the increase. So it's been quite a while, about 7 or 8 years since, maybe we can get at least into the 5,000,
Well,
in the budget from the city budget. And that'd be great.
yeah, and I think just, speaking for myself, that in the past were allocations that went towards cameras every year, things like that. And there were other grants. And we showed last year with the drone and our support for that, that there are other avenues that certainly benefit the community as a whole, rather than just staying with one thing because it was easy, rubber stamping, and move on. And I commend the committee as a whole for thinking out of the box and looking at other ways to spend the money that has sometimes a much greater benefit to the city of Kingsburg.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we've helped the police with their new drone system, and I was really happy when we got to help them with their body cams and their dash cams.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
and before that,
It was just putting cameras
it
up
was
there.
cameras around the city. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it has helped them, in many ways, many different aspects of the police department.
And I think that's something I would like a continual update on is the body cams as well, not just what's happening with the drones and the pilot certifications, things like that, but an ongoing report. How are the body cams working? How are the vehicle cameras working? I think for a while we need to take a look at that.
Yeah, I think it was in August, July or August. I asked Chief Dating was in here giving us an update on the police department, and I asked him, so has anybody done a public request, for dash cam or body cams? He said, no, not at this time. And then about 2 weeks later, I went to see Abby, goes, guess what? Remember the question you asked Chief Dating? Well, we got our first one like just 2, 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So there's only, to my knowledge, still just been one. Yeah, that we know. Yeah. So,
Well,
uh, public request for body cam footage or dash cam footage. Well, either or. Yeah. Because they've had them now for almost it's been close to a year, I think. But that's kind of a good thing because that means that police is doing a good job and there's no controversy and, you know, uh, but and I believe the outcome of that was, to my memory, somebody had ran a stop sign and he's like, well, the car in front of me ran it. I didn't. And then once he saw the dash cam from the car, he was totally apologetic and saying, you're right. I ran the stop sign.
well, good for him
The guy
for
was,
admitting,
like,
number one. Number two, they did exactly what they're
mhm.
designed to do. It's protection for both the public and for the officers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if a lot of people in Kingsburg are even aware that there's body cams and vehicle cams being utilized. Uh, I'm sure there'd always be a little bit of pushback. I know we discussed that originally, but
Yeah.
I still see it as a very positive thing for everyone.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, there's still some smaller jurisdictions that don't, and that's entirely due to budgetary reasons, and we get that, but
Any other committee members have any ideas or been asked about any funds from anybody or anything? No?
Looking forward to hearing their update and hearing from the police next meeting.
Yeah, okay. Do we have any public comment on this agenda item? Does our one member, one citizen here? ha-
it was cold outside.
Yeah.
So he came in to warm up.
Window meeting, but sometimes stop in and think,
Yeah, he's also my alternate, and you actually, I think, sat up here for me one time, Dave. Yeah.
that's true. I am David Silva, resident Kingsburg. That's true. I am an alternate. But no, I think you guys are on to something. I know that Chief Roberts from the fire does a quarterly update to the Kingsburg Healthcare District. So I can't imagine why PD couldn't do the same. So they could just come in and give you guys an update on how they're using the funds and the benefits
Yes,
to
they
them.
have before.
Yeah.
The PD has been pretty good
Yeah.
at our requests.
Because we've given them a lot of, money for things. We're just talking about, so yeah, they do. They come in and,
Yeah, and Vince is right. The board member Palmar is correct. The dash cam did come into service in that
Yeah.
incident where the gentleman ran the stop sign, and he was apologetic to staff and said, "Yeah, you're right. I did run it." So it's good.
worked out good.
Transparency is good.
Yes.
So with an open agenda right now, I did have someone approach me about
Okay.
the tree right outside being struck.
Oh, okay.
And about was there appropriate signage or protection around it? And I couldn't remember. I know we've got the little white fencing around it and things like that. And I thought that was always there when the tree was put up.
That's right. Was there white fencing around it this time? There was. Okay. So he went through the white fencing and then put a big old dent in the, is that aluminum? That was too fast. Um, and we still don't know who did it? No, okay. Yeah, there's no cameras like pointing at the tree thing.
No. And so the comment that was made to me was the placement of it. And then because of the adoption of the bicycle lanes,
Right.
does that create a safety issue?
We did talk about that at city council during Christmas time with the bicycle lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what our engineer what he said. He said that, well, there is the Draper Street's it's very wide, and Dave Peters, it's very wide, and I mean I've driven by that tree many times, and I think it's only dangerous if somebody's like on their bike in the bike, then you have to wait for them.
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, you just pull in. He said there's plenty of room to pull into the bike lane, which there is. You just kind of pull in the bike lane and go around the tree. The only time it's it's a safety issue is if there's somebody on a bike and you just have to wait for them to go by and then you go pull around the tree. But I know once it got hit, I heard from citizens that there was a lot of stuff on Facebook or Kingsburg News or whatever about it, complaining about the tree. Why is it in the middle of it's been there for how many years? 20 or more? How is that?
They just weren't marked. Right. Yeah.
They did exist. They just weren't marked. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just let them know that it was talked about and thought about, uh, before we voted, and you know, it was a 3-2 vote for those bike lanes. 2 council members voted against it.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I was one of them.
Oh,
To me, Draper Street's sacred, so
no. See, as a cyclist, I like
I'm a
bike.
cyclist too. I cycle. I mean, but I don't cycle. This is
Yeah, I'm not-
you can't cycle
I'm not that
fast.
Draper. I'm all on the outskirts of
Yeah,
it.
same here. Same here. But you know, I mean, they're good. I see a few families on their bikes and going down the bike lane and in the spring and the summer and having you so.
Really doesn't take away. But as a purist, as you called
Yeah,
yourself,
like
and
I said.
just having that marked that way with the green paint, it's
Yeah, so I'm fine with it now. I just was voted against. You know, hey, you know, I don't want to see bike lanes on Draper Street. Draper Street's sacred to me. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, Alan. Just let them know that you know anybody that has issues with bike lanes, we did talk about it and seem to pull around them, and you know, just watch out for bikers. There's bikers just have to wait for them.
well, and pay attention anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well then, if we don't have any more discussion of use of our funds, I can close. Our regular calendar is done with. The next on our agenda is future agenda items. Um, I don't have any. Does anybody have anything they want to? One of them will be, our next meeting will be with the police department will be here, you know, to update us on the drones. And we can also ask about the dash cams
Yeah,
and
if
body
they could be
cams. Yeah.
prepared to speak to that as well.
Yeah, we'll have them speak to that too, Abby. Yes, definitely. Anything else? Future agenda items?
No, I think I would just like to go on record to thank Chief Dadian for the service that he has provided to Kingsburg in his tenure here. I think he handled it with efficiency, with professionalism and humility, and did a great service to all the people of Kingsburg. And I wish him the very best in his retirement.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Didn't think of that, and I agree with you 100%. Yeah. He's done very well for Kingsburg his years here, and they're doing a great job. And hopefully, with the new chief, we'll find a good one, and they'll keep doing a good job. You know, keep it up. Well, it's as that it's been that's right. It's been announced. Yeah. And I was going to congratulate him at one of the football games when I got the email, and I said, "Oh, I can't yet. He hasn't been, but it's been announced." So
Yes,
yeah.
it has.
So Sean Stevens will do a great job. Yes, yes, he will. Yes, we'll talk about that after the meeting. Yes, I did. Yes, definitely. Um, okay, so next on our agenda is committee member reports. Does anybody have anything to report?
Nope.
No?
I could just touch on working closely with the SRO.
Okay, yes.
Last committee meeting, we had talked about possible education night for parents for fentanyl awareness. And we didn't do a fentanyl awareness night at the school district, but we did a vaping awareness night with parents. We had board members there. Our SRO was there, a couple of people from the district office, including Assistant Superintendent Rodriguez, and we had families there. Got a lot of great information out to the Kingsburg Elementary families for avoiding vaping and nicotine products for children and adults.
Good, yeah. Thank you for that update.
And it was well attended.
As well as could be expected. We're working
Yep.
on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. Any other committee members have anything they want to speak on? No? Okay, I don't either. Okay, then. Today, I want to adjourn the meeting with this saying, the Public Safety Committee will adjourn tonight's meeting in the memory of Lennis Shalene, honoring his tenure on the Public Safety Committee and his service to our community. He will be deeply missed. So with that, I'll adjourn our today's meeting. Thank you.